She doesn't want to worry about you. So
I
what
don't.
is your question?
This is my existential angst right
here. And welcome to another edition to GalaxyCon Live, where we are bringing the convention experience directly to you. Today, we jump into the manga and anime world as we talk to some of your favorite stars from Naruto. Let's go ahead and jump right into it. We have a large cast for you today, so let's go ahead and get into it. Please help me welcome first. She is the voice of Naruto, Maile Flanagan.
Hey, everybody. How you doing today? Wherever you are.
It's Milo and Maile hanging out.
That's right, man. We're like this. Or this. Or I don't know. I'm just trying to read all the books in your bookcase there.
Yeah, there's some Harry Potters and some comics, and that's pretty much it. It's just
right.
a nerd room.
That's awesome. I love nerd rooms. My whole house is a nerd room.
Oh, can I come visit?
Sure.
All right, let's get through this first, and then I'll come visit.
All right.
So next up, please help me welcome the voice of Sasuke, Yuri Lowenthal, and the voice of Temari, Platt.
Hi! You get us. Yeah, you have to introduce us both at the same time because we're on the same camera.
Because we're married and we're sitting together.
And we're also married.
I heard you got a babysitter so we could be here today.
Yes, that is absolutely correct. But we're still handcuffed together, so you have to take us. You get us both, or you don't get either. You don't get.
We're stuck together.
All
right,
everybody,
wherever you are.
This next one I'm super excited for, mostly because of Maile. But please help me welcome the voice of Sakura, Kate Higgins.
Kate Higgins! Hello.
How are you?
I woke up with some existential angst today, but this has really improved my spirits.
Yay!
Really?
You're my anime waifu. I've got my real waifu and my anime waifu.
Yes, I know, and even my horrible husband, you.
Oh wow!
Cannot bring me down. No, really, right now, y'all have made me so happy, and I'm just so grateful. Thank you.
Thank you for being here. Like, legitimately, thank you for being here. All right, our next guest, please help me welcome the voice of if I can say this correctly now, Shikamaru, is that correct?
Yes, nailed it.
Gibis.
Shikamaru Nara. Visual props. There they go.
I should get one.
Right?
There we go.
Yeah, we just everyone hold up their pictures. Prepared.
Well, that's courtesy of Tara. Tara found this artist. We did this for a special thing, so that was a collaborative effort.
Oh, you guys are related.
If I hadn't put my prints all away and tucked them away so we could do this and look nice in here, I would get my half out. But it's under all
and then they
stuff.
go together. Oh, there we go, Maile.
Look at that.
Wow.
I don't know why this is right next to this chair, but it's been there since at least December.
Perfect. I love it.
Kate's in the closet, so she's just gonna hold up socks.
How about this?
Oh,
there it is.
That's great.
Sporting the merch.
Just got it right out of the closet, folks.
Our next guest, please help me welcome. I can pronounce this name. Rock Lee. Help me welcome Brian Donovan.
Oh my God!
Oh, wow!
Oh God!
Very nice.
Yeah!
Wow!
I know. You're all a little jealous. It's cool.
Is that a good thing? I don't know.
Yeah, man. It's a good thing. Rock Lee's in the house.
Happy
What's
Mardi
up?
Gras, happy Halloween.
Yeah.
It's
Hey, man, we're prepping, right? Halloween's coming. Yeah. We're festive. After Kate's introduction, I feel better than I ever have. Kate, I just wish you were better lit, to be honest with you. I want to cast a light on that.
Oh, I'm lit, man. No. Yeah, I know the light's not good in here.
Yeah.
It's not.
Yeah. Thank you, everyone, for having Bushy Brows himself. It's good to see everyone.
All right. Our next guest, please help me welcome the voice of Kiba, Kyle Hebert.
Hey! How you doing, Kiba?
I'm great.
You look
Gotta bring the
naked
trombone
today.
out.
strong puppet
Oh,
game.
yeah, hold on. Let me tell him I'm sorry. Hold on. Kyle, I'm sorry. Kyle, everyone.
Oh, the Saint.
I don't know how to stop it. Hold on. Okay, there we go.
Right. It looks like Kyle was the only one who got the Batman memo.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
Kyle.
That's right.
It's a meme, but yeah.
Well done.
Yeah. I'm going to keep this close in case, anybody needs, a little extra loving today.
All right, Jazz.
And last but not least, please help me welcome the voice of multiple characters, Konohamaru, and others I'm sure I'm forgetting at this time, Colleen O'Shaughnessy.
Like I have my Naruto friends.
Oh, that's adorable.
Where'd you
Really?
get that?
I like that
Is that
too.
you?
Where'd you get that?
That's so cool.
Amazon, I think.
Right.
The internet.
The internet
I'm gonna
provides.
get one of those.
Yeah. Isn't that fun?
Yeah.
Konohamaru's not on here though.
Oh, really?
I
Wow.
know. Is that weird?
Yeah.
Super weird, super disappointing.
But
You know
Eno made the shirt.
Yeah, I'll tell you.
There you go.
Colin, I'll tell you a funny story. So I was with my little boys and we were at some shop and I was with my mom, my 84-year-old mom. And my mom can't really quite wrap her head around what I do exactly on the show. And, but we're in this shop and they got some anime gear, and they got some stuff and they got some, some Naruto stuff. And I was like, oh, they got the show I do. And my mom's like, they do? What? And she's looking and I was like, oh, yeah, they don't have my character. She's like, they don't have your character? That's... Excuse me. She goes right into customer service. Like, excuse me. Why isn't my son's? And I was like, I felt like a fucking. Oh, sorry. I felt like an 8-year-old. I mean, it was my mom is manhandling the staff at this store. Like, where's my son?
What was their response?
It was awesome. Oh, I'm sorry, ma'am. We don't. We actually did have a Rock Lee thing, but right now we're not carrying it. Like, my mom was. It was
The
awesome.
best thing you can say is it's sold out.
Yeah, exactly. That's what they should have said. Oh yeah, we can't keep Rock Lee in stock. It's
Actually, in all honesty,
flying off the shelves.
Yeah, flying off the shelves.
Honestly, that's true though, because at the conventions I've gone to and the dealers that I know, they always ask me about you, and they never can keep Rock Lee stuff in. That is honestly.
Brian.
Oh my God! Hold on a second.
Oh.
Wow, that brought a tear to my eyes. Hold on, let me FaceTime my mom while I'm on with you guys, so I can tell my mom.
Well, mostly you're loved by your mother, and that's
oh God, she loves me. But yeah, I love her too. But man, it was borderline embarrassing. I mean, I went right back to 8. Like I was like, oh my God, my mom is making a scene. Yeah, it was so cute. My boys were like trying to figure out what was going on.
Yeah. What are they, like 8 years old or something?
Yeah, 6 and 8. 6 and 8.
Nice.
Yeah, so funny.
When was the last time that you guys all saw each other?
Never.
I don't know that this has ever happened.
Colleen, I saw you with your family in Detroit like 3 years ago.
3 years ago. Yeah.
3 years ago?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
3 years.
Kyle,
At a convention?
Actual sighting? Like actual seeing each other?
And Tara and Yuri were there. Brian, I haven't seen you in maybe 7 years. Tom, I see.
Yeah,
I can't get rid of Tom.
Why? Is he your neighbor? Why do you see him? He's your neighbor?
Oh, we have a
we've
lot
been
of
friends
mutual
for 30
friends.
years.
What? Say that
Mutual
again.
friends.
Good.
Oh, you
We
mean
didn't
if
know
I
you
was a
together
better
in Minneapolis.
friend, you would say I see Kate all the time.
We just
You
can't
never want to go anywhere.
We just can't get you out of the closet, Kate.
You're right. I don't know.
Yeah. Miley and I are actually going to be together in at Fanboy in Knoxville in 2 weeks.
That's right.
Nice.
So I'm super excited about that because we haven't done a con, and
That's what I miss most about conventions, honestly, is
What?
not getting to see you guys.
Wait,
or is getting to see you guys.
yeah.
Getting to see you guys is what I miss.
I love not
I
having
hate
see you
not
guys,
getting to
'cause
see
it's
you
just
guys.
Too much.
Dr. Freud would say you said it right the first time.
Yeah.
I
was
saw
wondering
Kyle a
about
few
that.
weeks ago in Atlantic
Yeah.
City.
Oh, really?
We were there about a month ago. Yeah.
Wow.
How was that?
You guys are traveling.
It was pretty good.
Great.
Yeah.
Uh-oh. Something seems real fake about that.
I mean,
great.
let's just say it couldn't have been as good as GalaxyCon, am I right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nothing's
Yeah.
as good as GalaxyCon. Cheap plug.
There it is.
Wait a minute. Shoot, you should have timed me.
Oh God.
Bringing it back. They're bringing it back.
GalaxyCon. GalaxyCon.
That's the best $20 Target purchase he's ever made.
Amazing, right? Amazing. You guys had stuff on the walls? No.
And now it's a write-off.
Not until
now
you
it's a write-off.
Hey,
Everything is a
Milo,
write-off.
are you trying to ask us questions and we're talking off everywhere?
Milo, because we'll just keep going.
I could.
You're
You guys
aware,
could
right?
Just chat, you know.
I
it's
know,
up
but
to
I'm
you.
the people pleaser, and I'm all worried about Milo now. So I'm like,
Before we get
She's
into
a
questions,
reluctant
though,
people pleaser, though. She doesn't want to worry about you. So
I
what
don't.
is your question?
This is my existential angst right here. Can we solve it
Before
all
I get into
today? I'm gonna solve this crap. Yeah. Okay.
before I do get into questions, though, I think the world needs to hear Miley's Kate impersonation.
Okay. I don't know why you'd ask me that. I don't know how any of this works. I mean, you didn't ask Kyle or Colleen or Tara or Yuri or Brian. I mean, or Tom even. So what am I even doing here? I swear to God, I don't know.
I must be very
He
interesting.
said people pleaser. You gotta say people pleaser. You have to say, I'm a people pleaser.
I'm a people pleaser. Wait, that was the wrong answer. I'm a people pleaser. I'll get that one. I don't know why that.
Wow.
All right, let's get into some questions.
Yeah, I don't know what to say.
If you can submit that as an MP3 file, and we'll let you know.
I just apologize if I've offended anybody.
Well,
I don't think you've had time to offend anybody.
I'm gonna tandem that because I did swear out of the gate, and I apologize. I will say that I'm actually a very kind, sweethearted person, but I do sling some F-bombs every once in a while, as my kids will tell you, because they both have over $100 in the swear jar. I know.
From you or from themselves?
I am not proud. I am not proud of the fact they record me with their little school iPads and put it in the room to see if they could catch me swearing when I'm talking.
No way.
I swear. In fact, I should probably check before this panel because
Should we
they
call
know.
like children's services right now, or
No, come on.
All right, so at the next convention, who's going to be in charge of the swear jar?
Yuri?
Because you could probably make some bucks, go out to a nice dinner.
Right? Right? Yeah.
I nominate the couple that's chained together.
Yeah.
Four Eyes has said it too.
It would just be a big swear war between me and Brian. Each of our jars would be filling up so fast.
I think we should just do it as our characters. All right.
Well, let's try to get into some questions. The first one I have, though, is were any of you aware of even the concept of anime and English dubbing prior to auditioning or being cast?
No.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. Yes up there and a yes down there.
Kyle's got that knowing nod. Me and Kyle.
Mr. Dragon Ball Z you're talking to.
Done a few things. Done a few things. Yeah. I know about this anime thing. Yes.
I definitely grew up watching anime.
Oh yeah.
And I'm old enough that when I first started watching anime, the word anime wasn't even around. It was Japanimation.
Right.
And, but even before I knew that word, like I didn't know that anime was Japanese animated stuff when I was watching it as a kid. I was just like, these are the coolest cartoons that they're showing right now. Speed Racer and Battle of the Planets.
I was going to say Speed Racer. Was that one?
Star Blazers. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, is Star Blazers Battleship Yamamoto? Is that the same?
The Starship Battle Space Cruiser Yamamoto.
Yeah,
right?
That's awesome. That was the show I watched as a kid, and I'm like, what is this? So awesome.
All right, so I think we might be ready for some audience questions.
Yes.
Are you guys?
Oh gosh.
You guys ready? Our first question: if you could have your character from Naruto team up with a character from another fandom, who would it be?
Sasuke and Rainbow Dash from My Little Pony.
So what is the partnership? Does Sasuke ride Rainbow Dash into battle?
It's like good cop, bad cop. It would be so great. Yeah.
Nice.
Tara, since you're right.
Oh, you
there.
stumped me, man. Is it supposed to be a character that we play in another fandom, or just a various?
No, just
random...
any fandom, any Star Wars, Marvel, DC.
Well, we talked about Batman earlier. I like the idea of Tamari and Batman like being
hooking up with handcuffs.
Yeah. They're not serious. Sorry, Shikamaru, but they're
warning, Brian. Warning.
Yeah. Are you gonna flash that the whole time with me? I'm sorry.
You might as well just leave it on.
Yeah, just leave it on.
Just leave a beep going.
Or just his little square is just gonna have that on it.
Yeah. You put it just over Brian's square.
You know what my answer would be? I'm just going to answer it because I never have answers to questions, and so if one's coming up for me, I'm just going to say it. Okay.
Nice.
All of a sudden, I know, Maile, come on, please. Give me a break. Wouldn't it be funny?
He loves you so much.
It would be funny to have Sakura hanging out with Barbie. That would just be like so much.
That's good.
Sort of female insanity. I don't
they
even
would go
know
shopping together.
Well, they might get into like who's in charge here, who's more like it's just weird. It's weird, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I can't picture it. But no stranger than yours, Yuri.
yeah, fair enough.
And you're a little too person.
You're a little too.
Now I'm pissed off. No.
Colleen?
I put Konohamaru with Wasp.
Ooh.
Yeah, I think they would be a force to be reckoned with.
Wow.
Yeah. 100%.
There you go.
Yeah.
See?
Yeah.
Kyle? See you down there.
I say it's not out yet, but it just looks amazing. Duncan Idaho from Dune, or Jason Momoa.
Yeah.
Basically, he's so awesome and cool in everything he does that Kiba would make a good sidekick, I think.
All right.
Nice.
Brian, what you thinking over there?
Because I'm such a narcissist. I mean, I would pair him with Davis from Digimon, which I also did. I would just love to see that,
keeping it in house,
personality thing, and just going back and forth. No, I would honestly. I think I grew up with I totally blanked with Wonder Twin powers, and Glee. And I would love to see Rock Lee as like one of the Wonder Twin powers. Powers activate,
Yes.
Anyway, I'll leave it at that.
Here comes the F-bomb.
Wouldn't that be blinking cool?
Tom,
and I think I would go with the Incredible Hulk.
Ooh.
Because Shikamaru would just be like, yeah, go smash. I'm going to go take a nap. It'd be the character he would have to do the least amount of work with. Just point him in a direction and let him go.
Right. I like it.
All right, Maile, the ultimate Naruto team up.
I think it would be Naruto with Madeline Albright. Because I'm a fan of politics.
I'm so close to pushing the button. So close.
Naruto and Liz Warren.
That's a good show idea.
Great show idea.
With political characters.
All right, let me trademark it real quick.
Like maybe
copyright
the anime
number
character
682432867.
Maybe the anime character is like the politician's like handler or something. It's an interesting little.
That is, Kate. Let's write it.
Well, I don't leave my house ever, so
you can write from home.
Google Docs.
Okay, yeah.
Google
Docs.
You have to do it before somebody on the internet does it. That's watching it.
You just
Too
put it
late.
out.
It's
All the
already
people
been
watching this.
Tom already bought the domain name.
Yeah,
called
some
anime
people are
politics.
typing as we talked.
Naruto
GoDaddy.com.
Albright@gmail.com.
So I have to ask this question. Can I ask a question too? Is that okay?
Ask a question.
No, you can't.
Sure.
Has anybody else experienced this? Okay, so I was just doing like a little guest artisty thing at my kid's school, and the teacher introduced me and basically said, I do Naruto, right? And because she said, how do I pronounce it? I was like, yeah, Naruto. And has anybody experienced where some of the kids are like, they don't know that's how it's pronounced, so they don't know that that's actually the show that they love, and then I'll be like, yeah, you guys know it is Naruto, and they're like, But it's so funny, right? Because there's like everybody pronounces it so differently that you know, kids will be, you know, I'll be like, oh yeah, I do the show Naruto, and they're just looking at you, and then I'm like, Naruto, and they're like, yeah. Anyway, I just had to ask that. Has anybody had that experience?
Yes.
So yeah,
I have not, but I'm gonna start remembering the next time I say Naruto, and they're like, I'm like, they've got to know it. I'm gonna go with Naruto.
I'm not going to divulge who it was, but there's a person on our show who is in quite a few episodes. Yes. And I saw him at a convention in Salt Lake City 2 weekends ago, which is one of my first conventions in the last couple of years. And he sat beside me with his wife, and I said, "Oh, hi! I haven't met you before. I mean, he's done a lot of episodes." And I said, "I think you're on the show that I'm on." And he asked, "What show?" And I said, "Naruto." And he goes, "No, I don't think so." He's like, okay. Like, I went back to eating.
To be the person that works that much that you have no idea.
Yeah, well, he does work a lot. That's all I'm saying.
That's a good point, Tom. Could be just that he's working so much.
He was super nice. Right. And I just didn't feel like bothering him. Like, all of a sudden I became this weird fan, and I was just like, I was like, I'm not going to suck up more of your time. Eat your lunch, No,
where you went wrong is you just said, you're on the show I do, Naruto. And then he would have been like, oh, yeah. I love Naruto.
No, I think the answer would have been the same.
All right, our next question. Comes from Vanessa. What were your first impressions of your characters?
I did mine as Christopher Walken. Oh, sorry, that's not the right.
Different kind of impression.
Oh yeah.
I thought he was very spirited. I guess for me, it was that he had a lot of hope and a lot of energy, a lot of energy.
Right, and my character had a lot of darkness. Go ahead, Brian. And
I was just gonna say, I just remember being super, super disappointed that he didn't swear at all, and he was just so formal, and I was like, come on, dude, toss a swear. No, he was just so, the fact that I couldn't make any contractions just was so hard, and I was just like, oh my god, what am I gonna do with this, And yet he's super emotional and passionate, but yet he talks very, old school knightly, and that was hard. That was really hard. I was like, oh, how am I? And I speak very California slang, and so kind of messing with that was hard. Yeah.
I remember in my audition with Shikamaru, my take on it in my head was more like Surfer Dude, like Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure, and then just pulled back. And if you hear those early episodes, it's in there. It's like, whatever, what a drag. You can almost put dude at the end of it. Dude, oh man, we're gonna do this. It's like so it was sort of like the Surfer Dude was like my first take on it. Yeah, but that got me the job. So
yeah. For Temari, I definitely felt like she had a much bigger chip on her shoulder at the beginning. Like she had a lot more attitude, and she was like, whatever, like she was also a little whatever kind of a thing.
It was a family thing.
It was a family thing, I guess. But she grew as a character, and she managed to sort of evolve as a human, and so that kind of she outgrew that, which was really kind of nice to see. Not that she doesn't still have a bravado that she still presents with, but she's not quite as, I don't know, just a teenager. I mean, she just really felt like a teenager with a chip on her shoulder, and now she's a fully fleshed character.
Yeah, and my impression was that this is not the kind of character that I normally get cast as for Sasuke. I was like, this guy's like dark, and he's got issues,
and he just grunts a lot.
He just grunts a lot. Yeah, I felt cheated at first.
You? That's not you.
That's not me. I felt cheated at first Hardy, because Maile had a lot of lines and Kate had a lot of lines, in an episode, and then I would have like 2 lines, and one of them was like, I mean, I'm like, hey, you guys are getting paid, and I'm like, I got nothing. So I'm glad after a while.
Hey, we got paid the same amount.
Okay,
you had to work a lot less for those episodes.
There's no small parts. I know. Maile was just so bummed. She's like, "Oh my god, what? He's got 2 lines, and I got 473." Yeah. Yeah.
I asked Tom when he goes in, I was like, so how long were you there? He's like, 15 minutes. I'm like, oh my God. I've been screaming for hours.
Yeah.
Oh, Lord. Colleen, what about your character?
I absolutely loved Konohamaru from the second I started reading it. I just thought he was, you know, he wouldn't like to be called adorable, but he is just friggin' adorable. And I just absolutely loved him. And I loved his whole, like, his, you know, his sort of fighting with Naruto, but then also looking up to him and his like, I'm going to be the next Hokage. Hells yeah. I just absolutely adored him from day one.
I think you really made him totally adorable. Oh. And I think that what you did was really convey that weird relationship where, like, Naruto doesn't have family, but Konohamaru is like his little brother.
Right.
Really.
And I think you really brought that to life. I mean, for me, it fleshed it all out. So.
Well, thank you. And we never got to work together, which is crazy.
Right?
Yeah. But, and then with Ino, I think it took me a little longer to figure her out because it was all, you know, kind of right off the bat. She's fighting with Sakura and
she was so mean to me. I know.
She was awful. And like, it took me forever. I'm like, please don't make me say Sakura. I can't say that name. Like, it was really hard for me to tap that R thing because that was, you know, my first anime was Digimon and we didn't have to say a lot of Japanese names and there was a lot of and a lot of I mean, I think I said probably 87,000 times in Digimon. But, you know, so I like saying a lot of the Japanese names like Shikamaru and I was like, you know, Shikacho, like that was like
I remember in the beginning going, thank God I don't have to say my own name.
Yeah, and I had to say Shikamaru like so many times.
Oh my God, I thought it was just me. Like literally the session, I would rip, and then all of a sudden we come to a Japanese word, and I'll be like, oh, and Mary Elizabeth, you could see Mary Elizabeth just sink. She's like, oh my God, here we go. And it would literally take me 12 minutes to get through one word, you know?
Sometimes you tapped the R and sometimes you didn't, and it was like,
to this day, I don't know the rule of, because half the time they told me don't tap the R. Yeah, I know we're done. The show's done. But I'm still concerned about this.
You know, I had to redo like 20 episodes because I think somebody changed hands in the Viz organization or something. Yeah. And I had to redo all the lines where I said Shikamaru. And they were like, no, you want Shikamaru. And we kind of anglicized it, right? Shikamaru.
Shikamaru, yeah.
But then somebody gave the note that we had to say Shikamaru. Yeah. And I had to go back and do looping, replacement for like 20 episodes.
Yeah.
You got paid, girl. You got paid, didn't you?
I know, but it's so funny because
you got paid.
It's hard to retrain your brain because it took forever to learn how to say it the first time. And then you got it like, crap, I did it again.
Yeah. And then every time you see it in the future, your brain, you sort of stop so you can't actually say the line correctly because you don't remember which is the correct way and which was the wrong way because you know that they were both, you're holding space for both of them, but you can't retain which is the actual correct one. Yeah. Yeah, that would be
my story. Just I do some TikTok stuff, and I every time I go, you know, I'm Tom Gibis. I play Shikamaru Nara, and I get people that say you're saying his name wrong.
Shikamaru.
Like, and what I do is I go, you're right, and I never say my name in the entire 750 episodes. I never.
Yeah. Well, I would like to thank you all for making me not feel as bad for my introductions of you guys. So thank you.
I'll be honest. Here, Rock Lee, you hit that perfectly.
Yes.
Like I was thrilled. I was thrilled when my name was Rock Lee. I was like,
tap the R though. Tap the R.
What about you, Kate? What did you think of Sakura?
Rock Lee. Yeah.
What did I think of Sakura?
Yeah. What were your impressions?
Gosh, I thought, oh gosh, they have typecast me, this sort of complaining, I don't know what to do, which as you'd say, Miley, you know, confused over a guy who's a jerk. I mean, I was like, please, I can't escape from this in my real life. Now I gotta, but then she did sort of grow up and evolve. And I know y'all don't believe it, but I have too. I know it doesn't look like it.
I
believe it too.
I believe it.
Hey, guess what, Kate? I believe it.
Oh,
Nice.
thank you, everyone. Good night.
And Colleen, I just want to say, Colleen, since Eno was always mean to me and like big forehead and all that kind of stuff, it's so weird how I personally thought like, oh God, does Colleen not like me? Like I
didn't like you at all.
That's why I felt so real.
I just took every ounce of my vitriol toward you and just put it into Eno.
But that evolved.
I love you, Kate.
That evolved, didn't it? You like me now.
I do. Now I do.
Thank you.
Kate, I had to act like every time I said Sakura. I mean, I had to pull some stuff, like method stuff. Like it was crazy. I mean, I really had to pull from deep. Oh, come on. That was oh, come on. That was
and that leaves
dead on.
And that leaves Kiba, Kyle.
Yeah. So what I thought was cool about him is that he's super fiercely loyal to his friends and his teammates, but his ego is he's like, I'm gonna be Hokage. He's up there with Naruto, and he's like, hey, you're an idiot. I got this. And he doesn't got it. But
spoiler alert,
he's still cool. He's still cool. He still holds his own and everything. And I really appreciate that about him. And I never had to tap the R ever, which was great.
We need a warning right there.
Yeah,
it's not a euphemism.
There's that thing for everybody else. Come on.
Just you, Brian.
Is that the name of the next show? Tap the R?
That's the next one.
That's the name of the political anime show that Maile and Kate
this week on Tap the R.
The sad truth of Hollywood. If you want to make it, you got to tap the R.
On that note, our next question. Our next question is, let's see, from Emma. What was your favorite moment in the show?
My answer is always like, are you kidding me?
Emma, 700
no offense. Yeah.
40 episodes.
That's impossible. But I always answer in arcs. Like, I like the Chunin exams. I like the big fight with Sasuke. I say the same thing all the time. I like the arc with Pain. I liked meeting Sai because he was such a freak and so weird. Yeah. I didn't even think he'd come back in the show. But it was interesting. I love the emotional stuff with Lady Chiyo. And, of course, with what happens with Jiraiya. Those are some of mine. But it's impossible to answer that, like, yeah. I do, even on other shows I've done, I'll have 2 or 3 episodes. But on this one, it's impossible. So many.
Yeah.
And that's because you're the star.
Right.
Well, it's also hard too if we're not watching the whole show from beginning to end. If we're recording the sequences that we're in, we can enjoy that, but we don't necessarily know how it fits into the whole scheme of things.
Yeah.
And that gets a little tricky because you know you can appreciate it, and you can think it was a really fun interaction, but it's hard to sort of feel what's going to come or how it's going to play out.
I can talk in terms of arcs, and it's it's easy. It's the big Naruto Sasuke stuff and the Itachi Sasuke stuff, but I will say as an actor, I used to love going in, and my favorite moments were always when like Maile had left me outtakes because she had recorded first and had left like little jokes and dirty turns of phrase, and or it was you and Steve Bloom.
Ooh.
Yeah, we would do it.
Like Steve Bloom would do it all the time, and I wouldn't know that it was coming. But when people had gone into record before I had gone into record, sometimes they would leave little bombs, and the engineer would drop that in and play them without letting me know that was happening. Yeah. And those, I just love. I miss that.
This warms my heart. This warms my heart.
You guys did paper scripts, so like Yuri would leave pretty notes for me, like "you suck," and other things that Brian might say, but I'm not going to say in a public venue. So
Kate,
my favorite
you used to draw on the scripts too, didn't you?
Kate,
you would doodle, Kate. You would.
I was just going to say Kate's little drawings.
Yeah.
John used to draw on the scripts too.
Who did?
Steve Bloom. Didn't he do like?
Yeah, they were dirty. They were nasty. We'd all be fired.
I didn't draw nasty stuff. I like just letters, flowers.
Yeah, you would just write the names of your sons over and over and over again.
I did.
Yeah.
Oh God, I've got issues, don't I? I did.
But we always knew when you had been in before us.
Yeah, that's right.
Yep.
That and the fragrant smell of southern magnolias, right? I don't know. I don't know anything.
Wow.
Yeah.
I left a different scent in there. That
I know you did.
I just want to take this moment to apologize for.
I know it's a tough question, but like Miley said, arcs are maybe easier to call out than moments. Does anybody have a favorite memorable arc on the show?
That's funny. I was just about to answer the moment because mine I think were more moments, and I think when I talked to the fans, like it was definitely the Gaara fight and the Kimimaro fight, and those are pretty iconic. And they were. I remember when I was recording the Gaara fight, like it was awesome. Like when he drops the weights, like it was. Yeah. You knew, like it was a moment. Like this is something, and it did. It turned out to be something special. I think not only for Rock Lee, but I think the show, like the show just kind of took off from that point, and not to. Wow, that was really modest. But yeah. So anyway,
we owe it all to you.
Yeah. I just want to say, like Rock Lee, I can't thank you enough for turning the show around and it was just
making it the hit that it is.
Yeah, it was no, but I mean it was special. I mean it was cool graphically and otherwise, and it was just a nice turning point for Rock Lee and just yeah, and then I think what's really nice too, and I will say this, I'll just cap it with this. What the arc of the recovery of Rock Lee like represents everything. Like I feel so honored without getting too, but having done the show so long and all the fans kind of coming back to, you helped me over this really low point in my life, or you helped me. And that whole arc represents that, and Rock Lee represents that. And so I feel really just super grateful that not only that fight is iconic, but just the road to recovery and his belief in himself and his efforts to get past this, this huge obstacle. I think represents a lot, not only for me, but certainly the fans. And so it's special. It's really special that way for me.
Yeah.
Yeah. I want to swear, but I won't. I was going to cap it with like a nice.
I'm going to take a big view, which is the thing about this show is that there's so much going on, and they do so well with, there's so many characters, but yet there's such great Kiba moments and Ino moments and Sakura moments and Temari. Like you can pick those. In other shows, those would be like such side characters, but there's such character development, not just in the main cast, but all of the, 32, 36, surrounding characters. That's that makes the show so great. They have such great storylines and such evolution of each character, so that by the end there's so many payoffs for each character, because you saw how they struggled early and then it pays off later, like 100 200 episodes later it pays off. It's and that's what's really great. I think each one of us could tell it almost as though the show was about our character. That's you know what I mean. You can
like I did, Tom. Like I did.
Yeah. That being said, the whole, Asuma to Hidan death for Shikamaru is awesome.
I don't even know what that is.
Well, I cut a guy's head off and buried him in a hole, and he's still alive.
Really?
It's for the kids, you guys.
Yeah, it's for
the kids. Okay, yeah.
Kids.
For kids.
But you know what? That's why I love my son. He just.
I have a visitor.
Hi. Hello.
She came to say goodbye to me, so I'm just going to say goodbye.
Oh.
Okay.
Bye.
Love you. Have fun.
She didn't hear me swear, did she?
No, she didn't.
Okay,
but she has a dad who.
I do have.
Yeah. He's heard lots of things.
Okay, good. Because I ran out of money. My kids have tapped me out.
Right?
My son is 13 and he's just started watching Naruto totally on his own, but he won't watch the dub. He only watches in Japanese.
Hardcore.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it's interesting.
I've met a lot of those people.
Yes.
But I didn't even know that was my kid, and he like binge watches it. I mean, he's on his computer all the time because I'm a horrible mother. But he binge watches it. But it's just interesting. My point about this story is that yes, there's so many well-developed characters that there's one for everybody. And I think that's why the fans, it's like they see themselves in someone. Everybody can find someone that they can see themselves in.
Mm-hmm.
And the arc is sort of so naturally long in its progression that it's more true to life. People don't, you know, rarely do you change overnight, if ever. So it's nice that they get to see how all the things that people go through in order to sort of become and progress. And, you know,
I
like
love
life.
that you said that. I love that you said that, Kate. I think you're absolutely right. I think the fact that it takes almost in real time. And we've talked about this on other panels where it's like our lives, you know, I lost my sister and my dad, like our lives, like things happen in our lives, you know, almost, you know, in real time of like our arc of the characters and stuff. And I think that's absolutely right. I think there's an authenticity to the fact that it did take so long and these arcs did, you know, and these progressions as characters, as people, you know, felt real. It felt real and relatable in that way.
And I think we all did it for so long. I mean, I say this in a lot of panels, so forgive me if you've heard it before, but I had to record Naruto seeing his parents for the first time. And I had lost my mother the week before. And my God, that was the hardest episode. Like those episodes were so hard to do. And Mary Elizabeth and I were just weeping in the booth, like weeping in the booth. And I saw it and I was like, it's good work, you know, like, and I've never seen it since, by the way. Like I've never watched that part since. Even if it's on, I won't probably watch it. I mean, one day I can, maybe. It's been a long time, but yeah, like Kate said, we've all gone through all these things. Like Kate threw up in the booth. That's one of the stories I tell. When you were pregnant, Kate, didn't you? You did in the booth.
I didn't throw up in the booth. I mean, not
Mary Elizabeth.
It's a great rumor. Great rumor.
I might have.
It's a rumor I spread all over the country. So
okay, I threw up in the booth. I do remember falling. I was so big that I was trying to lean closer to my mic, and I literally fell over. I mean, that's not good when you're 8 months pregnant, and I fell flat off of a high chair. You know, I was trying to. And I did start delivering my child in one of the episodes.
That's right, you did.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Wow.
Didn't you leave and go to the hospital?
Left and went to the hospital.
Well,
I got out of that car
first before you left.
No, I didn't. I said, Jamie, something don't feel right. Something feels like it's about to come out. And he said, you should call the doctor. And I did to get to the hospital.
No wonder your kid's binging Naruto.
So when you say something felt like it was gonna come out, what was it?
Yeah, what was coming out? Was it your child?
You're
parental. Come on.
This is for you, Brian.
Yeah.
All right. On that note, I have some bad news. We are out of time today.
But we heard so much from Kyle.
Oh no! There's a quick moment when you see Kiba and he's about to lose Akamaru, and it's like this is the biggest moment for them to really solidify that they're more than just teammates; they're like family. And you know, for anyone who has a furry children, you know, they can certainly relate. It's like it's like losing a child or about to lose a child, and how crazy, or losing any member of your family. Of course, that would be like so impactful. Now with Akamaru, they still are there. He's still there, and everything's great. But there was a moment when he almost wasn't, and he was almost on his own, and that was a truly touching moment.
Yeah.
The show is full of that.
Before we wrap up, let's go around the room. And what do you have to say to the fans that are watching this, that are still watching the show, that are still supporting you 100% along the way? Let's go around the room. Maile?
I just want to say thank you for, it's almost now 16 years or so, right? Yeah, 16 years.
Gotta be.
And it's so amazing that not going to conventions live in person has been really terrible, you know, because you get to meet people and understand their relationship to the show. And then, but what I love finding out is that it's like, because of the pandemic, the audience has grown. Like, I feel like 5 times as much. I mean, it's generations of people that love the show. And it's all thanks to the writers and the creators and the directors. We do our part, but I think the vision of the creator is astounding. And as for the fans, I think their fandom is incredible. Like, it's never ending. People are awesome. They tell you really personal stories because of Naruto. And thank you.
Yeah, beautiful.
Yuri, Tara?
I mean, I think Maile said a lot of what we feel as well. We feel very grateful to have gotten to, you know, to get to do any job this long is unheard of. Yeah. And then for it to be paired with, you know, the most amazing fandom for what we do is
but also like Maile was saying, it's generations too. So you're seeing parents watching the show with their kids now, which is really like such a cool thing to now be a part of a family because of the storytelling aspect. Like, it's really fun. And it is nice to sort of, right now we're sort of having to do this virtually. So thank you for you guys who are watching this. But we all hope to probably get back to conventions in person in the coming months, years, whatever that looks like.
And just a little tag based on something, you know, Maile said, you know, there's so many touching stories you get from fans about how the show has impacted them and has helped them or saved them or, you know, given them, you know, something really important at a time in their life when they needed it. To that, I also say, yes, thank you. And the show, we're very happy that the show did that, but don't count yourself out for what you did. Because, you know, the show was there, but you found the strength in any of those moments. And so you got to credit yourself for that because you're the one in that moment who stepped up. And so you.
Brian?
Oh man, Yuri, you took it right out of my mouth. I mean, that's like, it's beautiful. Like you know, I couldn't do that much better. I mean, it was just, that's exactly right. I feel so honored. You know, I mean, a couple of things, like when the generations come up to your table, right, at cons or virtually. Thank you, GalaxyCon. You know, and you see that, like, this mom and her daughter just told me that they treat themselves to watching one episode before school. Like, that gets them both out of bed. It gets them excited about the day, and they start their day with that. And I was like, wow, man. And then another girl sent me a photo of her, you know, graduated from high school, and she said it was a brutal year. I barely got through high school, but she went as Rock Lee. Underneath her gown was Rock Lee. And she sent me this picture of her throwing her cap. But Yuri's right. It's like, you know, I'm so honored. I know we all are to be an inspiration in some way, shape, or form because of our contribution to, you know, our characters and stuff. But at the end of the day, it's like, it's what you do with that. And the fact that you guys, you know, take that and then find the courage and the strength to carry on, especially when life can really beat you up. And we've all witnessed that to some extent in this past year and a half. The fact that you guys carry on and you know, and is just such a credit to all of you. And, you know, to be a small part of that, I'm so grateful. So thank you guys.
Tom?
Everybody's, you know, saying such great things, and that's, you know, it's hard to top all of that. And by the time we get to the last person, they're gonna be like, I don't know what to say anymore. But yeah, the same thing. The fans are awesome on this show. I think the point that I'll make, which is that, you know, we had Naruto Shippuden, and this show keeps rolling on, and we're still in Boruto, and Boruto is in, who knows? I think it could just keep going and going and going, and really see some evolution of these characters. And it's great that the fans have kind of grown up with us, and that they're introducing their kids to it, and also the streaming services. And that it's great because they have access to all this stuff, and they're able to see our show again and experience it. You know, when It'll be like back in my day, we had to watch it and it'd come on once a week, and it was on a Saturday, and
At 3 a.m.
And you had to figure out if it was going to be on the Disney Channel or if it was going to be on Cartoon Network, or So that's the beauty, like Netflix and stuff, where you can just watch the whole first Naruto. I think it's all up there now, so that's really cool. So. And it'll be good to get back out there and see fans and say hi and see how it's going. So
yeah,
that's my 2 cents. Thanks everybody. That's
Hey, Colleen, Kyle, you guys have something to add?
What they said.
Yeah, and I mean, thank you. That's basically the crux of it. Like, thank you for watching. Thank you for being a fan. Thank you for the fan art. That is some amazing stuff that you guys do, and I am so impressed with. I mean, over a month or so ago, I went to my first in-person con, and this guy just gave me this print of Ino that he made, and it was beautiful and amazing. And they're the best fans ever. I mean, they're so generous, and they create these amazing things, and sometimes they want you to sign it, but most of the time they just give it to you, and it's so thank you.
Yep, the fans are what makes our job possible. So yeah, it's amazing, and it's great to see the generational support. I'm seeing more and more families. I've actually been out there going to cons, and I've been seeing parents and kids, especially in cosplay, in whatever show it is, and it's like, my parents weren't like that with me. It's like I like what I like, and it's like when it was not cool to be a nerd, and now it is. So it's like, hey, okay, everyone embrace that. It's okay. You could watch this with your kids. It doesn't mean you're. And the kids are all like, hey, what? Show me more anime. This is great. And Naruto is one of those great introductions to that genre.
Fantastic. And I know you guys are giving your thanks, but I want to give you my thanks for joining us here on our virtual GalaxyCon stage. Hopefully we can do it in the very near future. It has been my pleasure to host for you today. So thank you all very much. And thank you to everybody watching at home or wherever you're watching. Thank you for your great questions. And one last thing before we go, Brian, play us out.